Hi, and welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be reading in Genesis chapter 5. We are going to be slowing it down and reading each verse. I know it's been about a week since I've posted a video. It just seems like anytime I post a video, something kind of happens afterwards, just makes the week very interesting. So tomorrow is Sunday, so tomorrow is church, and so I figured I'd try to get this video out tonight. So at first glance, what it's going to seem like is we're just reading a bunch of names, a bunch of ages, a bunch of years. But underneath all of that is a legacy, God's faithfulness, and how he never forgets his people. We'll meet men who have lived centuries, a world heading towards judgment, and one man that walked with God. He did not experience death. So let's read together and reflect on what we've read together. So let's read together. I'm reading out of the New International Version, but I also cross-reference with the King James, the New King James, my Christian Standard Bible, and I also use a couple of other apps to cross-reference. So you use whatever Bible you're able to use, and just know that you can always cross-reference. So let's start in chapter 5. This is written account of Adam's family line. When God created mankind, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them. And he named them mankind when they were created. When Adam lived 130 years old, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image, and he named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived a total of 930 years, and then he died. So I know what you're probably wondering, and I was wondering the same thing. How are they living so long? So I went into a few commentaries to get the answers for you. So I found 4 different answers. Literal view, they literally lived as long as they did. This was pre-flood. The world was more pure. The environment and the DNA and human genes were less corrupt. Another one is symbolic or theological. Some scholars believe the ages have symbolic and carry meaning. For example, long lifespans may reflect honor, wisdom, or reflecting importance in God's plan. Another one is cultural or genre context. Some believe it could have reflected a different numerical system. Or the last one, to show a gradual decline after the flood from Noah's 950 to Abraham's 175 to Moses 120. In Genesis 6:3, it says, "My spirit will not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years." So whether it's literal or symbolic, the long lifespans before the flood are meant to show us something about God's unfolding plan. So we're going to read now about a man named Seth. And Seth was a righteous man who brought his children up well. Bless you! My son just sneezed. So in verse 6, when Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. After he became the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived a total of 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. After he became the father of Kenan, Enosh lived 815 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enosh lived a total of 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. After he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years, and he had other sons and daughters. So, this is pretty cool. I watch a YouTuber. Her name is Kanoe Gibson. Her YouTube channel is called Heart Dive, and that's actually hers and another lady named Kayla with His Word My Walk. They're the ones that helped me start on my path of just being obsessed with the Bible. But I saw something she wrote in her with all these names and all the meanings. And I asked her in her comment section if it would be okay that I used what she wrote and gave her credit, but she did not respond, and she's got a really big following, so I could see how my comment got lost. However, I am going to link the video, and I think I wrote it down here. Yeah. At the 23-minute mark, she has what every name is, the meaning, and how it lines up to form God's plan. I thought that was really cool, and I didn't want to disrespect her by putting her video stuff on top of mine, because I'm still learning, I'm still new, I don't know all the correct stuff. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to link her video. So when you get time, check that out. So we're going to get back in verse 15. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. After he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. Notice how after everyone dies, it says, and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Although Enoch lived a total of 365 years, Enoch walked faithfully with God, and he was no more because God took him away. Now that's pretty cool. I actually watched a lot of different commentaries, a lot of different meanings, and I would encourage you to look some up yourself, and I have written down some here. Enoch walking with God really speaks of how deep their relationship was. So in Hebrews 5:11, it says, by faith Enoch was taken away, so he did not experience death. He was one of the other two people, the first one being Elijah in 2 Kings 2:11. I actually did a lot of digging on this, and some people say it was the rapture, some people say that he just died a certain way, and from what I've understood is no one really knows exactly, because in the Hebrew it just says he was not. It doesn't say he didn't die. It doesn't say he died. He was not. So if you get time, look up in, Enduring Word, Blue Letter Bible, Logos, Bible Hub. That's where I was getting mine. And I love the Strong's app, because the Strong's app gives you some pretty good references for Hebrew words. All right, so we're in the home stretch. Let's get this part done. When Methuselah lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. After he became the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Now, this is not the same one as earlier. Although Methuselah lived a total of 969 years and he died, and that was the longest living person. When Lamech had lived at 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah, and he said, he will comfort the people in pain, he will comfort us in the labor and pain, toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord is cursed. After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lamech lived a total of 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So that's the end of chapter 5. So I have written something down, and Enduring Word Commentary said something pretty cool. If these genealogies are consecutive, Noah was born 14 years after Seth's death. Seth died in 1042, and Noah was born in 1056. So to think that Noah could have spoken to Adam's grandson, Enosh, and his grandchildren could even possibly have spoken to Noah, Adam and Eve's sons and daughters, that would have been pretty cool. You know, they had really long lives. So that's all of chapter 5. Come back to the next video and I have it ready, and we will see how the corruption ends up and how God's plan unfolds. Bye!